It's clobbering time! End of the night! Welcome to Tied Down TV, the punk rock opinion show with me, Geoff.
I'm Danny.
And today we're doing top 5 New York hardcore. Now, the man here, Danny, is a big into his New York hardcore, aren't you? So how did you discover New York hardcore? What was the first, was it?
To be honest, out of all the cities and whatever the hardcore came from, I think the reason I got into it so much was because I grew up in Seacombe.
Okay.
Right, and where my mum used to work, we used to live really close to the flour mills down Seacombe.
Yeah.
And my mum worked there for years, and anyone who's familiar with that area, especially before they knocked it down, it was a lot of like urban decay down there. Do you know what I mean? And it's always like. It's always rang, it's always stayed with me, the image of these broken down, horrible buildings and stuff like that. And listen, I'm not saying for a second I had I was living in a squat like some of these guys, but
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think even as a kid, I was always kind of fascinated with like the urban decay kind of thing.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you know what I mean? Even like
There's
some
of
the
beauty in that decay. And
I think even like some of the films I'm big into. I'm into films like The French Connection, Across 110th Street, The Warriors, of course. And I've always had the fascination with that backdrop of just urban decay. Yeah. And I think that goes back to when I was a kid, remembering stuff like growing up around stuff like that. Yeah. And so I think that's always kind of what's and coming across New York hardcore, to me, it's kind of like the sound that's the backdrop of the soundtrack to New York hardcore.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah. Old New York, as they call it, before Giuliani rejuvenated and that.
Exactly.
Was urban decay, wasn't it? Like just everywhere.
Yeah. And I always think that maybe why I've always been so obsessed with New York hardcore specifically was probably I don't want to say romanticizing that image, do you know what I mean? But it kind of is.
When you're young and stuff, I get that, definitely.
Yeah. So that's where my obsession with it has probably come from all these years.
Fair enough. See, I've had a bit of a not a love-hate relationship with New York hardcore, but I definitely slept on a few bands when I was younger because I think I had this almost false pretense of what New York hardcore was a little bit.
I think some people consider it kind of a lot of it are kind of a bit too of it quite, especially the macho side of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just not really who I am in that kind of that bravado. Yeah. But I must say, obviously now there's a few of those bands who I've gotten into over the years, more recently, and respect and love them. The first band I did actually buy anything by came from New York. It's going to be my first pick now. So. Bit of a CD wanker on this one, but
before you start the picks, there's just something I want to mention. One, there's going to be more CD wanking than I'd like in this video, right? Because some of these records are very hard to get on vinyl, and it annoys me that me or you don't have certain ones. And two, if this is your first time watching one of our videos and there's certain records you don't see, me and Geoff have always said that when picking a list, nothing will make it twice.
Good point.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so we won't pick something if it's already made the list. So if you don't see, don't know exactly what Geoff's got, but if you don't see Victim in Pain, Age of Quarrel, or Bringing It Down, it's because they've been picked previously. It's not because we don't think they deserve to be on this list, because obviously they do.
Yeah.
So go on, Geoff.
Sorry.
Your pick.
My first pick. You know what time it is, Danny?
It's clobbering time!
And it's blood, sweat, no tears, sick of it all. You talk about New York hardcore. One of the fucking biggest names in it. Definitely had a lot of reach, and I'd say people of my generation who got into punk will have seen the Step Down video, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's the very first, as I said, when I first bought anything by a band from New York in punk or hardcore, it was Scratch the Surface from Probe Records. And
I robbed it off you.
You did, yeah.
I've still got it.
You've still got it, weirdly. I found it in your car, didn't I? And I was like, hang on, was this mine?
Yeah.
But it was great. Yeah. Loved it. Nowadays, this is where it's at when it comes to Sick of It All, or the 7-inch, but it's fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Seen them live a couple of times. I know you have, and we'll, but I got a full-on split fat lip during the Wall of Death to Scratch the Surface watching these at one point. this is full of fucking tunes. You heard us sing it, everybody knows Clobber in Time, but you know what I mean? It's just amazing, innit? Give respect. The last song on it, Injustice System.
Rat Pack.
Rat
Amazing.
Pack is great as well, yeah. Fucking class. Like I say, if you're going to talk about New York, Sick of It All are in the conversation. They have to be up and down on a lot of their discography. I must admit, some of it that I've heard, it's not great. Yeah. Maybe they peaked here, but either way, if you've never heard this, it's not the easiest thing to get, as Danny said about talking about getting older vinyls and that, but they're fucking a class band and a fucking great live band as well. And
just a quick funny story, I've got probably the most embarrassing moment in my gig life came at a Sick of It All show. So Sick of It All played in Roadkill in Liverpool. If anyone ever went to Roadkill, people might remember they didn't so much have a stage, they had a little platform with like a road barrier around it where the band could play in. And when they played, it was, I don't know when it was, like maybe 2005, 6, something like that. And it was far too much of a small venue for a band the size of Sick of It All. And when they played, it was fucking jam-packed in there. And when they played It's Clobbering Time, I fucking jumped up and a couple of meatheads behind fucking threw me over like that. I literally went whoop like that over everyone in front of me, landed over the fucking barrier like that into where the band were. Now, I think it was I can't remember if anyone's watching, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it might have been a dual promotion with Thrash Gig, which was obviously
Dean,
Foxy, and was it Say It To My Face, which was Marios, I think. Yeah. And as I've gone over the barrier like that, landed in where the band is, which was only a small space, I've turned around like that. The barrier has started to collapse, right? And Marios and Foxy are like this, holding the barrier up, right? And I've gone to climb over to get back into the crowd, and Foxy's turned around and gone, fucking stay there, like that. So I've gone like shit, like this, and I've stayed still. And because everyone was pushing forward, I've had to stand there inward, Sick of It All. So everyone,
in between the Collar Brothers,
yeah. So I'm literally in between the Collar Brothers like this.
Yeah.
And every time they finished the song, and everyone was like, "Hey!" I had to stand there too. Like, you can't. So I say I unofficially joined Sick of It All for about 3 songs before they managed to get me back in the crowd.
Yeah, nice.
So,
but yeah, fucking great band. I'd say great live band. This is where it's at. If you're going to get hold of anything, try and get hold of this album. It's fucking classic. Blow you away. Yeah, that's my number one.
My number one is Breakdown Plus Minus. Unbelievably good band. One of the first bands to be classified, I guess, as a tough guy band. Obviously, you've got the legendary 87 demo. This was tough because Battle Hymns from an Angry Planet could have also been picked. I love both of these. I think what pushed me over the edge was probably the inclusion of the song Street Fight, which the first time I ever heard was covered by 9 Bar.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it was that was my introduction to Breakdown, was 9 Bar covered Street Fight, and straight away I was like, who the fuck is this band? I need to hear more. And I started a long love affair with Breakdown. Another one of the things that makes Breakdown great, I'd say, is Mike DeJean's guitar. It's really like recognisable. Yeah. Anyway, he's just got this amazing tone and all that. These are a band I don't think have released anything bad. Do you know what I mean? They've obviously released that legendary demo. They was Blacklisted EP, this, a couple of other things. And Jeff Perlin is just a brilliant vocalist. Got an amazing voice for this type of hardcore. So again, not the easiest stuff to track down, but Breakdown, can't go wrong.
Essential again for real hardcore, isn't it?
Plus Minus, Breakdown.
Nice, it's a good pick. So my next one might get a couple of people going, no, it's not hardcore. It fucking is. Sorry. So I've gone with Kraut, an adjustment of society, and okay, so it's a bit Ramonesy at times. I can understand why
but it's fast as well.
It's very fucking fast, some of the songs. And this is like a bridge between like New York punk and New York hardcore, really, I'd say. It's fucking class though. It's catchy. Yeah, I think every tune on it's great, I must admit. Like I think it's a slept on album. Don't think it's talked about enough. It's great, you can get hold of it as well. Definitely try and reach it. It's a band that even I'd slept on a little bit, only until, in more recent times when I kind of got onto it and I thought, fuck me, man, this is good shit. I promise you, if you've got any kind of English, you just want some fast punk rock, like this is it. It's tuney, isn't it? It's catchy, melodies everywhere, great guitar lines. It's just fun. The fucking opener, isn't it? All twisted, great sing along. Mishap is a hardcore song straight away. Like it's fast as fuck. But like I say, every tune on it's great. You will not regret trying to get hold of this. I don't know a lot about their history though, to be fair.
You used a few 7-inches as well, Kill for Cash and that.
Kill for Cash.
They came along with a lot of the A7 bands, obviously, like the M, Cause for Alarm, the Mad. You know, the Mad are quite an important band because I think the Mad were kind of a bridging band, them and the Stimulators from punk to hardcore.
I think this is kind of...
They're like what I'd say the bridge from punk to hardcore.
From New York punk into New York hardcore and all of that, like you say, like around those A7. It's fucking class though. Get hold of it, like I say, it's around CD and vinyl, dead easy to get. And you won't be disappointed. If you like the Ramones and you want it a little bit faster, maybe a bit more hardcore, this is it. Go and check it out. It's fucking class.
I think pretty much everything I've picked in my list is a legendary release by a legendary band. And I've wanted to give every band their due as much as I can in this list because a lot of these records mean an awful lot to me. And my second pick, and it kills me that I don't have this on vinyl. I would love to have it on vinyl. I just haven't come across one. Just Can't Hate Enough by Shia Tera. What a band. Honestly, what a band. The thing that probably makes these so special is probably the vocalist, Paul Bearer. Lyrics, I'd say easily the best lyricist in hardcore, bar none. He's a poet. His lyrics are really poetic. I think it's always good when a guy in a band can sound equally as angry, as tough, as hard as nails, as hateful, but then at the same time sound as vulnerable as anything. Do you know what I mean? And you listen to Shia Tera and some of the fucking lyrics, you're like, whoa, deep fucking lyrics.
To interject, like that is a band that I slept on for years, and it was Danny sent me lyrics and said, just read them. When you're listening to it, read them. Changed it for me. Absolutely love them. Fucking great band.
I mean, the only thing I will say about Shia Tera, and even for me, who's been into them for a very, very long time, he uses a wailing vocal sometimes where he goes, oh, and that can be a little bit hard to get used to at first. But so if you're not, but if you want to hear just the balls to the wall hardcore songs, Here to Stay, the opener, just Can't Hate Enough. Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? It's listen to the title track, Just Can't Hate Enough. Honestly, it'll blow your head off. Oh You Nothing and Walls. There's a specific lyric in Walls where what's he say? From teacher to student, Helena to Prudence, to night crime with my cat, or something like that. I just absolutely love it. Honestly, the lyrics are unbelievably good, and they've got really interesting. When you see them live, they've got really interesting choices in covers. Paul does not give a shit about what he decides to cover, and you're gonna listen to it. It's a Blondie, Depeche Mode, The Cure. They pick some interesting covers. Bands, he will literally break everyone's balls in the crowd. When I got to see him finally, he was ripping a load of kids for wearing Turnstile hoodies, which was quite funny. He was proper giving them shit. So I think Shia Tera, honestly, they've got to be listened to just once, just to hear what they're all about with the lyrics and all that stuff. They're unbelievably good. And I also love Ugly and Proud as well. That's a brilliant release. I haven't really actually listened to any of their more recent ones. They've released a few more recent records recently. I just haven't got round to listen to them. But Shia Tera, you know what I mean? Unbelievable release this.
Good, that's great. So my next pick is a bit of a classic band from New York again. I've gone with Reagan Youth. Youth anthems for the New World Order, or the New Order, should I say? Fuck me, man. This is great. These are like it's anarcho-punk almost, but it is hardcore. First time I heard this band, I just didn't know I was hearing this band. And again, possibly people of my generation might have heard it and not known it. If you ever remember the film Airheads,
Johnny Can't Read, Johnny Can't Write.
And that's the song they're singing is generated by Reagan Youth. It is quite a good film as well. But this is fucking class. The opener, the self-titled song, Reagan Youth, it's just great. Yeah, that's Reagan. It's fucking great. And the artwork's amazing. Obviously, it's lampooning and using like propaganda, almost like Ku Klux Klan members, the burning crucifix on the back. But fuck me, again, there's not a bad tune on it, but the opener, Reagan Youth, no class, degenerated, New Aryans. It's fucking brilliant. Love this band. I think some incarnation of them's still going. I saw something recently where on vocals they had Scott Stizzer Crack Sturgeon from Leftover Crack and Choking Victim, etc. And you know, I know he's a bit of a problematic character these days. And it wasn't great anyway when I was watching on YouTube. So I don't know what incarnation of the band still exists. I think it's just the guitarist left now, if I'm not mistaken. But if you've not heard this, again, go and fucking check them out. And if you've seen Airheads, you've already heard one of the tunes, because the song that they're playing at the end in the prison is one of theirs.
If you're wondering why we're both distracted, it's because Nancy's just walked in with
a donut.
A donut in her mouth. So
not a real donut, by the way. I wouldn't feed my dog a real donut.
No, it's a toy. But yeah, she wants to say hello, clearly. She's just wandered in with this donut in her mouth. So
she's looking for somewhere to bury it, I think.
Okay, can we carry on now, Nancy?
Yeah, go on, Nancy, go and bury your donut.
Okay, so next up, probably the toughest record of all time. Recently released on vinyl for the first time, Days Records, Bulldoze, The Final Beatdown. Pioneers of the beatdown style, like them or not, and I know a few people who don't, but you wouldn't have a lot of the bands you've got now playing that stuff if it weren't for these guys, because this is the beginning of it all. Obviously, I mentioned these guys. Terra Zone also featured the singer Kev One in the band. The first time I ever heard these, right, is around 2002-03. I seen Knuckle Dust play, and my mate filmed the whole gig from a
cool.
Yeah, and filmed the gig, and from that night on, every time we went round to his house, which was most nights, we watched the footage of the whole gig. You know, it started off just like, wow, look, you know, we got to know everyone and that in the pit and all that. But Knuckle Dust closed out that particular show with a cover of The Truth by Bulldoze. And we watched the footage of that gig so often that we became obsessed with the last song they were playing. We were like, it's fucking well good. And we only knew it was Bulldoze because Pierre, the singer from Knuckle Dust, had said, you know, this is a cover by a band called Bulldoze. And at the time, their stuff was, I mean, I did track down a CD a long time ago, but at that time, their stuff was still really hard to come by, Bulldoze. And we just knew we had to hear more stuff by them, do you know what I mean? And obviously got to track down a CD, got a lot more into all their stuff. Lots of amazing sing-alongs in this album, lots of things, you know, lots of stuff, lots of moments to sing along, you know, Respect Through Fear, Remember Who's Strong, and obviously The Truth itself. And then my old band, for instance, covered Nothing But a Beatdown, and it got the best it always got the best reaction out of a whole set. So that tells you everything about how great these were. It doesn't matter where we played, what city we played in. When we played that cover, it always got a massive reaction. So yeah, if you're into beatdown and you've never heard Bulldoze, definitely check them out. They're still going, but they have unfortunately, I think one of the other members has moved over to vocals now because unfortunately Kev One passed away a couple of years ago of a heart attack, I believe. But yeah, this is their only album, and I'm actually not sure if it actually classes as a compilation. I'm not sure if it's that, well, I'm having it as a standalone album anyway. The Final Beatdown by Bulldoze.
Okay, nice. Well, so my next pick, I've gone with a self-titled album by H2O. Might get a little bit stiff for this one.
You will off me.
It's fine. I fucking love it. My friends look out for me like family. Actually, when I was talking before and I said about sick of it all being the first New York hardcore band I bought anything by, without realising it, the first one I probably heard was probably these, because they were on Epitaph at one point, and on one of the Punkorama comps was the song One Life, One Chance. It's not really a hardcore song, let's be honest. This is just borderline hardcore. It's very melodic, it's catchy. I love it though, man. I still play it fairly often now. Like I say, the band that probably were easy for me to get into when I was younger because it was very melodic and I was heavy into a lot of like melodic punk. But I can't think every fucking song on here is great. I must admit, and you know, whatever people might say about it, and
I joke around. It is a decent record. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, and I get that. It's if I'd never we'd never talked about him, and I heard this, I'd think, Danny's not gonna be that into that.
Yeah.
But I am. I love it. Again, the rest of the discography, bits and bobs I've heard, it's okay. I'm not a massive fan of all of it. But like I say, there's loads of good tunes on here. Don't Forget Your Roots, what's it called? Family Tree, that one. Spirit of 84, the 5-year plan, the opener is a big tune for them. It's cool, man. Like I say, if you're into you want something a bit melodic, even a little bit cheesy, definitely influenced, I'd say, more by like your Youth Crewy sort of Gorilla Biscuit stuff because of like the melodic vocals anyway. But it's fucking cool, man. Go and check it out if that's what you're looking for, like I say, in New York hardcore.
There's a guy who commented actually challenging me to an arm wrestle because he said he goes, if you're into them, I'll have you an arm wrestle. Well, he obviously wants you an arm wrestle because you're the fan of them.
He'd probably win.
Yeah. But there you go. My fourth pick, another legendary release by another legendary band, once known as Raw Deal, changed the name to Killing Time. This is Brightside. Another one of the first bands that gets to be called like a tough guy. But I always think that the singer sounds very similar to Freddie Madball. So if you've heard, especially off the what's that album called, Look My Way, particularly off that album, he sounds very, because obviously Freddie's he's had a few different vocal styles, but on that album he sounds the vocals sound very similar to Freddie. So if you're into Madball and you've not heard Killing Time, definitely give them a go. This is the album to start at, you know what I mean? It's got the fucking great tune on Fools Die. I don't want to be a fool. Fools Die. Fucking great tune. Obviously, it's great all the way through. Tough as nails, sounding hardcore. Lots of sing-alongs. Backtrack. Great song that I believe probably the band Backtrack probably got their name from. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, look at that fucking back cover. We're all on the fucking staircase there of some probably dodgy project. So yeah, that's cool. Originally on Blackout Records, re-released on Triple B. So Killing Time, Brightside.
Good shit. So my last pick, this is a big one. Gone with Don't Forget the Struggle, Don't Forget the Streets by Warzone. Again, like I said about sick of it all, I'm going to talk about New York hardcore. If this isn't in the conversation, you're not having the right fucking conversation about it. Yeah. This is a classic, stone cold classic. Another one that when I was younger, I probably didn't give it the time of day I should have given it, because man, oh fucking man, is this a good record.
Not enough can be said about that.
Nah, you're right. Yeah. Like every tune, man. But I think the one that, like, We're the Crew, it's amazing.
As one.
As one. Love it. Every fucking tune. No, it's a killer album, like I said. It's fucking class. Look at them there on the back, goofing off a little bit, looking a bit Beastie Boys-esque, aren't they? Like, you know what I mean? But it's hard as fuck. It's fast. Yeah. It's fucking
legendary frontman, Rabies.
Yeah. It's catchy. Like, it's got some hooks in there, hasn't it? You know what I mean? But it's fucking straight up. It's like I say, it's straight up classic. Crazy but not insane. Yeah. Like you say, As One's great. We're the Crew's great. The title track's great. It's just tune after tune, isn't it? Like you say, on Revelation, it's a class. Again, I think you can pick it up if you haven't got it already. I imagine a lot of people watching this, if they're into New York hardcore, will have this in their collection. Fucking go out and check it out if you haven't, because I'm telling you now, fucking blow you away. Class.
Yeah, that would have been in my list, but you jumped on that straight away.
Yeah.
But now it's time for me to talk about probably the most important band to me when it comes to hardcore, full stop. A band that I've probably got a lot of shit for liking over the years. But
no apologies for what you like, man.
Honestly, this record, I can't explain how much this has meant to me over the years, and that is Biohazard Urban Discipline. This band, honestly, right, so when I was like maybe 16, I was big into Obituary, Meshuggah, stuff like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I was starting to fuck with a little bit of hardcore without really knowing what it was. Yeah. I was starting to get into a bit of Hatebreed, stuff like that. But I was still a longer, do you know what I mean? I was still into that type of stuff.
Sweat, like.
Yeah, I was still big into all that kind of stuff. One day there was a party that I was at, and I come home late, and MTV2 stuck it on, and I guess they had like more explicit
MTV2
music videos on.
Night. Yeah, fucking
back then, past 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
you used to catch Headbangers Ball and stuff on there, didn't you, as well?
I turned it on, and there was a music video playing, and in the music video, there was a Puerto Rican-looking gentleman being chased down an alleyway by two cops who proceeded to beat him up. Then I seen a guy kind of singing along, screaming in a warehouse, and then another guy singing along on a basketball court, and they were talking about their environment, and they were talking about growing up here, and they were talking about issues, and I was thinking, what the fuck is this? My head was blown. Yeah. Suddenly, all this long-haired shit and that I've been used to, and all this Dungeons and Dragons lyrics and all this stuff, I lost interest almost straight away. I was like, whatever this is, I want a piece of it. Yeah. And I was so infatuated with whatever the hell this was. I sat there, I waited for it to come up, and it was Biohazard and the video was Tales from the Hard Side, which is on the State of the World address. I went out maybe the next day and got this from Virgin Records on CD, and oh my God, my life was never quite the same again, honestly. Brilliant. You know what? It's not the perfect album. It's got a few turkeys on it. I always say the song Business, that's a skipper. I'm not a fan of the Bad Religion cover on there, that's a skipper. But it opens up Chamber Spins 3. Punishment, you've probably all seen the video for Punishment. And if you haven't, watch it. It's the Who's Who in the background of New York hardcore faces. Shades of Grey, which is one of my favourite Biohazard songs ever. Ends with a brilliant tune as well in, where is it? Hold My Own. Unbelievable tune as well. I just think, honestly, they did go a bit shit. Obviously, they went a bit shit. You know, toward in the 2000s, they released some absolute shit.
Rapping,
but I don't mind the rapping. I honestly don't mind the rapping.
No,
you know what I mean? It's
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but it's just
it was a bit new metal.
Yeah, but there was a few bands that came out around then. You had like these. You had like Doggy Dog, Downset, Fury of 5. I love all of them. But I can understand people who don't. Do you know what I mean? But this was huge for me. Do you know what I mean? I've had so many copies of this album I've had about 8 copies of this. I've had a tape. I've had about 3 CDs. I've got a couple of vinyls. I just love it that much. Really great cover. If you'd noticed that kid's meant to be holding a gun, but it's been edited out, so he's not holding a gun. I've never actually seen. I don't know if it's actually ever been released where he is holding a gun, or whether that was kind of something that they made them do before the release. But yeah, Urban Discipline was a big fucking deal to me growing up, and it's stayed with me all my life from when I was 16 until nearly 40. It still means more to me than it ever did, and I never thought I'd get to see him with the original lineup, and I did last year, and it was fucking great. So yeah, Urban Discipline, Biohazard. I really hope I haven't forgot anything that I wanted to say about this record, because I really wanted to hit the nail on the head with it. That's how much it means to me. So yeah, that's my last pick. Biohazard, Urban Discipline.
Nice. Well, there's our picks. So, honourable mentions, I'm going to go Madball, Set It Off.
I'm going to go Rest in Pieces, My Rage.
Nice. And join us next week. We're going to be doing top 5.
Crossover.
Yeah. So, that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell, jump over Instagram, Facebook, give us a like and a follow, and see you next time. It's what I